We open Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. May I have your attention, please? We would like to welcome you to the University of Maryland Eastern Shore for the 2018 Spring Commencement. We will begin in a few minutes, and at this time, I'd like to ask that you please find your seats. Take a moment to turn off all cellular devices, as we would like for this ceremony to be in order and to be respectful. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you please rise for the academic processional.
of this great university. UMES was founded in 1886 with 9 students, 1 faculty, and 1 building. Today, 131 years later, UMES has over 3,000 students, 60 academic programs, and a physical plant of over 1,100 acres. UMES is recognized by U.S. News and World Report as one of the top 20 historically black colleges and universities in America. You can clap for that, that's big. This recognition has come because of you and your achievements in the classroom, in the laboratories, and on the field of competition, as well as in our community. Indeed, we can accomplish no goal without graduates like you, because you are the ones we have dreams, because you are the ones we are inspired, because of you who are the ones we have goals and we push forward. Because of you who achieve, we can soar, and you can soar as the eagles and the hawks that you are. Congratulations on your accomplishments. You deserve a hand clap at this time, so let's give them a hand. Today is a time to celebrate with this milestone with your family and your friends. Now, I know that everyone is excited, and later on we'll be calling your names as you cross the stage, and we'll ask that you refrain and your families refrain from celebrating, because we want everyone to hear their child's name as it's called. So, as has been my tradition since I started here in 2012, I am going to give you 2 minutes up front to celebrate this momentous occasion. Please join me in celebrating our graduates. Thank you very much. Thank you. Hawk Pride. Thank you. I will now introduce our platform guests, and I ask that you please hold your applause until all the names have been called. Platform guests, as you are called, please stand and be recognized. Mr. Calvin Butler, Jr., Chief Executive Officer, Baltimore Gas and Electric Company, and our guest speaker for today. Dr. Robert Corrett, Chancellor, University System of Maryland. Ms. Deanna Johnson, member of the University System of Maryland Board of Regents. Dr. Thomas Siska, pharmacist, University of Maryland Shore Regional Health and Honorary Degree recipient today. Dr. Carolyn Brooks, Professor Emerita. Mr. John Allen, Jr., Chairman of UMES Board of Visitors. Reverend Jamar Jackson, Pastor of Metropolitan United Methodist Church. Mrs. Ruth Polk, on behalf of Mr. James Polk, Sr., retired educator, mentor, Maryland State College faculty alumnus, and Presidential Medal recipient. Mr. McKinley Hayes, counselor, Capital Guardian Youth Challenge Academy alumnus and Presidential Medal recipient. Mr. Garland Hayward, President, Princess Anne Town Commissioners. Dr. Michael Hart, Interim Vice President for Student Affairs. Dr. Kimberly Whitehead, Interim Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs. Dr. Moses Cairo, Dean of the School of Agriculture and Natural Sciences. Dr. Kate Brown, Interim Dean of the School of Business and Technology, Mr. Chris Harrington, Interim Dean of the School of Education, Social Sciences, and the Arts, Dr. Lakeisha Harris, Interim Dean of the School of Graduate Studies, Dr. Rondell Allen, Dean of the School of Pharmacy and Health Professions, Mrs. Cheryl Holden Duffy, Registrar, Mr. Awanami Davies, President, UMES Student Government Association, Mr. Zoe Johnson, President, UMES Graduate Student Government, Dr. Terry Smith, Associate Professor, Department of English and Modern Language and Reader, Dr. Donna Long, Associate Professor and Director of Child and Family Development Center and Reader, Mr. Jonathan Blackman, Sign Language Interpreter, and Mr. Stephen Hall, Sign Language Interpreter. Please give them a hand. Thank you. You may be seated. I would like to ask any members of our legislature and other elected officials to please stand and be recognized. I see Delegate Otto and Senator Mathias, thank you very much. And Mr. Dennis Williams, thank you very much. Members of the President's Cabinet, please stand, be recognized. Thank you. UMES Senate and Faculty Assembly Leadership, UMES Board of Visitors, please stand if we have any in the audience. Thank you. Any faculty and staff, Emerita, alumni, and other special guests in the reserved seating, would you please stand and be recognized? Thank you very much. I see some of my Golden Hawks out there. Thank you. You may be seated. And certainly last but not least, I'd like to recognize the university's first gentleman, Mr. Willie Bell Jr. Please stand, be recognized. To all of our special guests, I appreciate your attendance at our graduation ceremony and all that you do to support the University of Maryland Eastern Shore. We will now have greetings in the order listed from Dr. Robert Corrett, Chancellor, Mrs. Deanna Johnson, Member of the Board of Regents, Mr. John Allen, Chairman of the UMES Board of Visitors, Mr. Garland Hayward, President of Princess Anne Town Commissioners, and Mr. Zoe Johnson, President of UMES Graduate Student Government. After the greetings, the University of Maryland Eastern Shore Concert Choir, directed by Dr. Devonna Rowe, will perform Sing Unto God. Thank you.
Distinguished guests, family, friends, and most of all, graduates. I am pleased to be with you to offer congratulations from the University System of Maryland Board of Regents on this momentous occasion. It is also an honor, tinged with a bit of sadness, to share with you and your president, Juliette Bell, who will soon be stepping down as president of the University of Maryland Eastern Shore. President Bell, I know that Dr. Corrett will be speaking about your legacy shortly, but I just want to take a moment to acknowledge your leadership, which has been tremendous, as we hear and see in this room. Whether it be raising academic standards, meeting key workshop needs, or expanding community service efforts, your leadership has lifted UMES to new heights. Your impressive legacy will continue to be part of the UMES story for many years to come, and I thank you for your service. Of course, Most importantly, it is an honor to be here to recognize and congratulate the fabulous class of 2018. What you have accomplished has taken hard work, persistence, and dedication. Today, we celebrate with you the completion of that journey. Congratulations. Give a hand to yourselves. You earned it. Give a hand to your parents and your family who helped you earn it. And know that no matter what direction your life now takes, no matter what challenges you next confront, know that your education has well prepared you to meet them all. So once again, to that fabulous, outstanding class of 2018, congratulations!
Good morning, everyone. I'm Bob Corrett, Chancellor of the University System of Maryland. For those of you that don't know the governance structure, we are a 12-campus system representing 175,000 students across the entire state of Maryland. We'll soon be up to about 190,000 students, so it's an exciting time for us when we go to commencements and watch all of you walk across the stage. It's what this is all about. And Regent Johnson, who just spoke, is one of 17 board members who govern those 12 campus systems. Theoretically, the presidents report to me on a day-to-day basis, but they're a pretty independent group, and I work very, very closely with them to try to help each of them do whatever they need on their campuses. I also bring greetings from Jim Brady, who's chairman of the Board of Regents. Jim had actually reorganized his entire calendar to be here today, but had a personal issue that came up a couple of days ago, and he's talked to the president about that. So he asked me to extend his congratulations also. It's also, as has been pointed out by Regent Johnson, President Bell's last commencement here at UMES. She is stepping down as president. And it's worth noting the kinds of things that have happened here at UMES under her leadership, and I will provide some of those in a few moments. But I'm very pleased to be here on this day, to be here with her at this commencement, and I thank her for all that she's done here for the university and the university system. You know, each of the campuses, I've worked in 3 systems over the last 30-something years as a higher ed administrator, and California and Massachusetts and Maryland. And this is one of the most complex systems in the country because we have 12 campuses that are all very different from each other. They're not only different in sort of mission and different in look and size, but they're also different in terms of how they're funded and how they're structured. In most systems, all of the campuses have roughly the same tuition and roughly the same amount of state funding. But in this system, they're all different, and it's sometimes like running 12 different separate campuses as opposed to running a 12-campus system. It's much, much more complex. So I can say this about all the campuses, but it's particularly true about UMES. It's a very unique campus. It's a campus that has an extremely broad set of missions, including being a doctoral level institution, a historically black university, a land-grant university, and one of the oldest institutions in the state. It's an institution that we like to say is the anchor institution for the region in which it resides. What universities are supposed to do in those regions, especially if they're public universities, is 3 things. One is education, providing a pathway for all of you to get a degree. A second is economic vitality, providing the workforce that you will walk into to help drive the economy in this part of the state, to create new companies, to help those companies begin to grow and to then eventually grow and mature. And then the last piece, and a lot of you will be involved in this as health professionals or nurses or social workers or whatever your major is social well-being, making the community a better place to be. And UMES has all of those roles: education, economic vitality, social well-being, and all of the historic missions I mentioned earlier. And they've done a great job for a long, long time with a long lineage of students like you that go on to make society better. Under the leadership of Professor Bell and her administrative team, Professor Bell, I'm so used to faculty here, President Bell and she's also Professor Bell and her administrative team, I want to point out a couple of the key accomplishments in the last 5 years. One is the physical expansion of the campus, particularly the new Science and Technology building, for example, as one example. Campuses need to be places where students want to be. I used to, when I was president of Towson University, have a big button that said, clean, safe, pretty happy. They thought I had that button because I had spent 9 years in California and I just sort of lost it because I had been out there too long. But faculty, staff, parents, students, whether they're thinking about it or not, want to live in a community and a campus that's clean, safe, pretty happy, and can provide the kind of educational environment they need to thrive. And part of that is a great physical plant. And this campus has always had a great physical plant. I started teaching in this system in 1974. I've been on this campus many times. It's one of the most beautiful campuses in the state, one of the most beautiful campuses in the country, and you should be very, 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 very proud of the physical plant here. But you've also seen major academic growth in the last 5 years, and hopefully this will continue. And a couple of the key points I've already mentioned. One is achieving doctoral level status. Among universities, there are different flavors. There are those that are primarily baccalaureate and primarily teaching institutions. There are those that are primarily research with teaching as a partnership. And there are a series of categories. And UMES has achieved the doctoral level category, which puts it into the much stronger research emphasis with teaching, but research and teaching in a very close partnership. And it's been a long journey to get this institution to that level. And as was pointed out by the president earlier, U.S. News and World Report ranks UMES as one of the top 20 HBCUs, HBIs in the country. And then, again, something to be proud of. So let's give UMES a round of applause. Now let me end by talking about you, the class of 2018, a bit. You know, when you go to an institution and you graduate from that institution becomes part of you for the rest of your life. And the better that institution is, the better that credential will be as you move on through life. So we want you to help build on the legacy that is already here at UMES and help UMES continue to thrive and not forget them as you move on. Now, we like to joke a little bit. It's half joke, half real. You know, if you get to that first $1 million or $2 million, send a few dollars back to the campus. Help them financially. Campuses today are being challenged by decreasing amounts of state and federal support, which is putting a bigger burden on the students. And the more private money we can bring in to help the students, the better off we're all going to be. So that's one way you can help. But another way you can all help, regardless of how well you do financially, is help politically by staying connected to the campus, working with the campus through the Alumni Association and the Board of Visitors and things of that sort, talking to your local elected officials like the ones that are with us today, telling them that they need to help support public higher education in the future, K through 20. We need a great public system of education across the entire board. So politically and financially, stay part not only of the legacy of this campus, but of the future of this campus. You've made it. You've graduated. And there are a lot of people in this country that still can't say that. And you should be proud of that fact, but you don't want to lose that fact by not doing the kinds of things you can do moving forward. We expect you to make a difference, and a difference not only in this campus, but a difference in the community in which you reside. As I look out at the graduates, and I've been to 4 commencements this year, so I've seen a lot of graduates, I'm always excited about the fact, you know, those of us that have been in higher education, we do it primarily to get students through. It's really all about educating the future citizens of this country. And what we try to do in higher ed, and what you hear a lot from the press today and from the popular media, is that all you need are skills to get a job. And there's nothing wrong with that, getting skills to get a job. I'm a chemist by training, and I had to have a lot of skills in order to go to work as a chemist when I first came out of college. But you also need a broad-based education that allows you to continue to grow. A broad-based education that allows you to make decisions that will come across your path that you never dreamed of yet today. And it's those decisions that will change your life and the lives of your families and friends and the communities in which you reside. And we hope that we have put the kind of education together here, that you have benefited from the kind of education that will give you that skill set, that you're not just going to go out there and get a job and go to work and do that for the rest of your life, but that you're going to continue to grow, you're going to continue to make decisions, you're going to continue to change, and you're going to continue to have an impact on the community, the state, the nation, and the globe as a whole. I hope that that's what happens. That's what we hope will happen. That's what we're here to do. You know, life is an adventure, and as you get to be more, as I like to say, an appropriate vintage in life, like me. When I first got teaching at Towson University, I was 26 years old. That was a few years ago. But as you move on and improve in vintage like a good wine, you do reflect back on what things are important in life. And I will tell you that life is definitely an adventure. You don't know where you're going by any stretch of the imagination. And so make use of every day. Don't let a day go by where you haven't done something that helps you or somebody do something better. Use the day to its fullest. If we've done that, we've created an educated citizen who can go on and continue to grow this society in a way that it needs to grow. And it's a very, very challenging society today, and getting more challenging as the years go by. So I wish you best wishes for success as you move along your life's path, the journey you choose. And I'd like to end by saying I want you to work hard every day, but I also want you to play hard every day, and I want you to enjoy that adventure. Class of 2018, give yourself a round of applause.
Good morning. On behalf of the Board of Visitors, I'd like to welcome each and every one of you this morning, family, friends, supporters of our graduates, Dr. Bell and the platform guests. We welcome the dedicated faculty, staff, members of the Board of Visitors, proud alumni, and more importantly, we welcome and congratulate the class of 2018. Graduation is an emotional time. You're happy to be done and proud of your accomplishments, and might be a little bit anxious about what lies ahead. While you will forever be the class of 2018, tomorrow you will begin a new phase in your lives. Treasure this day, the memories of your senior year. Those will remain with you for the rest of your lives. As the chair of the Board of Visitors, I hope that the pride that you feel as you walk across this stage today is only rivaled by the nostalgia with which you remember this place and the relationships which you forged. Commencement is about much more than saying goodbye. Today's ceremony also provides us with the opportunity to reflect on the spirit that defines your class, to celebrate the knowledge that you have acquired, and to look forward to the exciting potential that you offer. As you explore the world, remember the time that you spent here. As you continue to learn and to change, reflect on the times when you stumbled and even failed. Recall how your caring mentors pushed you in the right direction and stretched your imagination and your spirit. Keep in touch with one another and your professors, and always remember that this community and this campus is a place that you can call home. Dr. Bell, on behalf of the Board of Visitors, I'd like to say thank you. Your dedication to UMES has truly inspired all of us, and it has been an incredible honor to serve with you. We hope to continue to build on the success of UMES and to continue to make you proud of what we can accomplish on our journey from excellence to eminence. We wish you well in the future, and may God continue to bless you and to keep you, as well as your partner, your PhD helper, Dr. Willie Bell. God bless you.
Good morning, everyone. Dr. Bell, platform guests, parents, relatives, friends, and graduates. On behalf of the Princess Anne Town Commissioners and citizens, we would like to welcome you to this beautiful campus, UMES, located in God's country, the great town of Princess Anne for this very special occasion. You can clap for that if you want to. This is an occasion where you can be very proud of your loved one for completing this stage of their higher education. To be here today and watch your loved one walk across the stage and receive their degree is truly a blessing from God. To the graduates, this is your day, a day to receive the benefits of hard work and sacrifice. I know the road has been rough and you have overcome many obstacles, but you can finally say, I made it. Say, I made it. I wish you much success in whatever you endeavor to do. I would like to thank you for all you have done volunteering and mentoring in our schools and in our youth center while you were here in Princess Anne. When you leave us today, please use the knowledge and wisdom that you have gained to continue to educate yourself and to help someone else. In your community, get involved with making your community a great place to live. Finally, graduates, family, and friends, I challenge you to find someone that is interested in furthering their education and send them to this beautiful campus in the great town of Princess Anne. God bless you, and may heaven smile upon you. Mrs. Deborah Heyman, Power Heyman couldn't be here, and she faxed me 8-page that I was to read to you, but I won't do that. I would just say, welcome, alumni, and we would like for you to join us and help us. Thank you very much.
Good morning, President Bell, Chancellor Carrett, USM Board of Regents, members of the Cabinet, Board of Visitors, deans, chairs, faculty, students, staff, alumni, families, friends, and the graduating class of spring 2018, the entire graduate students, executive board, graduate student government of this beautiful HBCU, University of Maryland, Eastern Shore, and myself, Mr. Zoe Johnson, bring you warm greetings this spring 2018 commencement. As president of the graduate student government, ambassador and all-star to the White House Initiative on HBCUs, we cannot tell enough how proud we are of every and each one of you graduates. Graduating class, remember, Hawks thrive, Hawks soar. Therefore, go forth with this momentum, even though there will be challenges, and glide smoothly and gracefully in your next endeavors. Most importantly, I would like to say, think value proposition in your craft. Think it over and over again, because I have come to realize that that's one of the many trademarks of graduates from this our beloved institution. Continue to fly high, Hawks. Congratulations and thank you. God bless you.
Let's give the concert choir and Miss Devon Rowe another hand. You may know that many of our students have gone home, so she's working with a skeleton crew, and I appreciate those students who stayed around to participate in this commencement activity. So thank you very much, Dr. Rowe and the concert choir. We will now have the student commentary given by Ms. Jamae, I probably mispronounced your name, Ms. Holland, Bachelor of Science in Accounting candidate for graduation. Following the student commentary, Mr. Awanami Davies, President of the Student Government Association, will introduce our speaker for today's program. Ms. Holland.
Good morning, President Bell, distinguished faculty and staff, family and friends, and class of 2018. Did you know that a hawk can locate its prey from a distance of 100 feet? This exceptionally self-aware creature operates with a precision and a focus so great, so immaculate, that an object way off in the distance to the world around them is in perfect sight and nearly right within its grasp. Whether it was 4 years, more than 4 years, or less than 4 years, you maintained focus on your goal and did what you needed to do to reach your target. As we make our transition into the professional environment, it is imperative for you to maintain that focus, that persistence, and that motivation. When a hawk hatches, it takes them 12 hours to get out of their shell. That's half a day it takes these persistent little creatures to even get their day started, spending hours upon hours poking and prodding until finally they break free. And as social reformer Jacob Reese once said, I know it was not the last blow that did it, but all that had gone before. This arena is filled with family and friends here to celebrate you walking across this stage today. Many who simply could not see the long nights, the stress, the anxiety that you put into earning your degree. I'm pretty sure I'm not the only person who found herself choosing not to attend one class in order to study for another class, or sitting in class trying to suppress the self-doubt that crept into my head whenever I couldn't seem to grasp the concept that the professor had already gone over so many class periods before. I know that this is not your first accomplishment. It was your smaller accomplishments, an A on a homework assignment, a B on an exam, making it through another week, another day, without having a breakdown. And when you did break down, because it felt as if the weight of the world was on your shoulders, you pushed through. You continued to work towards your larger goals, and you maintained your focus and your persistence. And for that, you are able, like the baby hawk who spends hours poking at its shell, trying to make a crack large enough to break free. It was your smaller accomplishments that led to your larger accomplishment, graduating today. It made it possible. Some may have barely met the minimum requirements needed to graduate, but guess what? You're graduating. Recognize that there are many, many ways to reach a goal, and you cannot look down on someone for the process they went through to achieve their goal. Based on the challenges you overcame to get where you are here at graduation, you were able to obtain valuable personal and life skills. And for that, you are better and you are stronger than you were before, because many of you did it on your own without a support system that others around you may have been fortunate enough to have. With that being said, it is understood that the presence of success does not mean the absence of failure. It is indeed failure which creates the roadmap to success. Throughout my academic career, I often found that I was my biggest critic. I often set unrealistic expectations for myself and then butchered my self-esteem when I cannot reach my own expectations. My fellow Hawks, as you leave your undergraduate years behind, I urge you to please be proud of yourself. Know that you may not be where you want to be just yet, but give yourself credit for making progress and not being in the same position you once were. Know that you will likely experience failures, but that does not mean you are defeated, and we are living proof of that here today. Missteps allow us to learn what to look out for the second time around when we may find ourselves in a similar situation as we were before, so that we won't make the same mistakes again. Developing an awareness of yourself and your past experiences allows you to become conscious of any negative, repetitive behaviors that you may hold that are not helping you to reach your end goals, in order that you can make the necessary steps to correct them. You may have heard this quote before. It's by life coach Tony Robbins, who says, "If you do what you've always done, you'll get what you've always gotten." During a time of immense celebration, this is also a time to approach everything with unrestrained positivity and relentless optimism. This is a time to say, I may not have a job in my field, but I can work at the job I'm at now while volunteering in my field. I can reach out to different professionals and businesses in my desired line of work in order to learn more about them and what they do. I can apply what I learned about networking in order to get my name out while simultaneously developing the skills necessary to be successful in my desired industry. Skills that I can apply once an opportunity becomes available. This is a time to acknowledge I really don't think that I learned everything I needed to in school to do the job, but I will make sure I ask the necessary questions in order to ensure my success on the job, and I will be proactive in my learning outside of work in order to ensure my success and progression at work. Put yourself in the position to be successful. As determined and motivated hawks, I know that you will continue to sharpen your focus and become more self-aware so that you can pinpoint and capitalize on your strengths. Overcome mistakes and learn from them by overcoming them in the future before you experience it. I know that you will never stop becoming the best that you can be, and as you become your best self, be sure, my fellow Hawks, to set aside time to expand your circle of interest and invest in your life passions. Oprah Winfrey once said, "Passion is energy. Feel the power that comes from focusing on what excites you." Don't simply earn a paycheck, but truly invest in the things that you care about. Want more for yourself as you excel in your career. Your life is full of purpose. Embrace challenges, tackle them head on, and win them over, because the only option for you is success. You will forge ahead and ultimately succeed because you know your worth and you validate yourself instead of seeking validation from others. And as I stand here and reflect on my time at the University of Maryland, Eastern Shore, filled with an abundance of Hawk pride, I need you to receive your blessings, never let them go, be your own key to success, and unlock your potential. Thank you.
I'm not gonna lie, that's a tough act to follow, Jamae. Could she please get another round of applause? That was amazing. Mr. Calvin Butler Jr. received his bachelor's degree from Bradley University and a law degree from Washington University in St. Louis. He was also awarded an honorary doctorate of humane letters from Morgan State University. Mr. Butler spent his early career with Central Illinois Light Company, where he held positions in government affairs, legal, and strategy. He has held other senior leadership roles in external affairs, as well as manufacturing with R.R. Donnelley, the print, digital, and supply chain solution company. Mr. Butler has been a utility company executive since 2008, when he joined the Chicago-based Exelon Corp, BGE's parent company, as the Senior Vice President of Corporate Affairs. Prior to being named BGE's Chief Executive Officer 4 years ago, Mr. Butler was Senior Vice President for Regulatory and External Affairs. Today, his responsibilities include oversight of BGE's performance in safety, reliability, customer service, diversity, and inclusion. He is a member of BGE's Board of Directors and the Executive Committee of Exelon. A year ago, Black Enterprise magazine named Butler one of the 300 most powerful executives in corporate America. And the Baltimore Museum of Industry named him the Industrialist of the Year. Mr. Butler made Baltimore Magazine's Top 10 Baltimoreans list, while the Daily Record listed him as one of the state's most admired CEOs. Please join me in welcoming our commencement speaker, Mr. Butler Jr.
So good morning, everyone. No, I tell you, we have to really work on changing the order of your commencement speakers. I don't know why they put the speaker after the student. It never works out well, and it really doesn't. So let me just say to the graduates, the families and friends, how honored I am to be with you today, and to President Bell for the invitation to be here with you. And Mr. Davies, thank you for that very generous introduction. I was hoping you wasn't going to read that whole thing, but thank you. It is really an honor and a privilege to share this momentous occasion with you and the entire University of Maryland Eastern Shore Hawk family. I am grateful for such a wonderful, incredible opportunity. I also want to take a moment to acknowledge my good friend, Chancellor Bob Corrett, the UMES's Board of Visitors, and all of the distinguished guests that are here. But I want to publicly congratulate Dr. Bell on an amazing tenure here at UMES. Thank you. Your leadership has advanced the brand of the institution by leaps and bounds, and I can speak to that for when the first time I met you, the first conversation we had was talking about the golf program here and how passionate you were about it and seeking partners in building that program to where it is today. Your commitment over these last 6 years and have been one that will extend the legacy of this university for the next 100 plus. So thank you. I would also like to acknowledge my excellent colleague, John Allen from BGE's sister company, Delmarva Power and Light. John, as you heard, chairs the UMES's Board of Visitors and is seated here on the stage, and you heard from him earlier. John, thank you for this kind invitation. This is truly an amazing day. Whether you're like me, a first generation college graduate, or if you come from a long line of siblings, parents, and other relatives with college degrees, this day is truly one you will never forget. In preparing to speak with you today, I have a 20-year-old daughter. I asked her, I said, what are some of the key points that will resonate with the graduates? And only a 20-year-old, she would sit back and would say, she looked at me, she said, keep it brief. I said, that's not helpful. And she said, don't use any corny quotes. I said, really, you don't want me to speak? She said, that works too. But I am going to say a few words. There is nothing like commencement at historically black college or university. That's right. So much is wrapped up in this moment. I was sharing with President Bell, we were back there standing ready to walk in. I saw a mother with her camera before anybody walked in already crying. And I know there's many of you like that around this room. But can you imagine, just take a step back, can you imagine how proud the Delaware Conference Academy founders would be right now? In 1886, when they started the school, a school that would undergo, as you know, multiple name changes and ultimately become the University of Maryland Eastern Shore, they likely never dreamed of the growth and transformation that would occur over the span of more than 130 years. And the great minds, primarily African American, that would emerge from this institution of higher learning. Today, with more than 3,000 students enrolled, UMES has come a mighty long way, and so have each of you. Understand, I am sure, as we heard Ms. Hollins talk about, that there have been moments along the way when you wondered if you would ever make it to this point. But you did make it. You did make it. Whether it was what you learned at home or that hawk pride that just stayed with you, you made it. You are here today in large part to UMES's comprehensive approach to the college experience, the multicultural diversity of the campus, the focus on intellectual and social growth, and the commitment of your instructors, advisors, and others to always, as we like to say, have your back. They have gotten you to this point. UMES has a rich tradition that is brimming on its history. And so today, I am honored to truly salute you, the graduates of the class of 2018, who have left your indelible marks on this institution, further enriching its legacy. Congratulations again on your day. Because, that's right, it is. You can never clap too much. Because your future and your legacy begins now. As you navigate through the world and make your mark on it, I would encourage you to take the time to reflect on the advice, the encouragement, the real talk that you received from friends, instructors, coaches, and others while here at UMES. Stay in touch with these individuals and remind them throughout your journey of the incredible and lasting impact they've had on your life. And come back frequently, because become active in the Alumni Association, for it is that your success and your foundation of success was formed and nurtured here. You owe it to this university and those who come after you to stay connected. Make yourself available in any way you can so that you can help continue to build on the proud tradition of this campus. So much about what makes Maryland great and a great place to live is reflected right here on this campus, the community of Princess Anne. UMES, as we heard, is often regarded as one of the most beautiful college campuses in the United States. It is one of the nation's most diverse, historically black campuses, with students, from what I understand, from over 30 countries enrolled right here. It is a true reflection of our country's strength as a place where diverse cultures and ideas are welcomed and allowed to flourish. And although that is being suppressed, or being attempted to be suppressed in our country today, understand that's what makes us rich. My chief of staff, Anita Maddox Jackson, is a proud Somerset County native and grew up only 10 minutes from here. And I can't tell you how many stories I hear about the Eastern Shore. But understand this, you possess a great wealth of knowledge. And knowledge, as we know, is power. The path you set for yourself is inextricably bound to this university. As you drive out of that gate, at the end of that long, winding road on the other side of campus today, you become graduates. You become a living embodiment of what makes UMES better. I would like to take an opportunity to share with you what's really important in my mind about this day and the potential impact your academic accomplishments can have, not only on you and your families, but the world and for generations to come. In order for this day to truly matter and for you to take your achievements to the next level, you must begin utilizing your new power to live your purpose. Why? Because I truly believe in the power of purpose. I cannot think of a better stage to illustrate this concept than here at UMES. One of UMES's institutional goals is to produce graduates who are able to lead effectively and compete globally. Many of you are leaders already. Maybe you've held leadership positions in the student government, your fraternity or sorority, or maybe you're like me. Your emergence as a leader was somewhat unintentional. Purpose speaks to the reason for existence. Let me begin by telling you a story about one of the reasons that got me here today. I found my purpose one afternoon in the Student Center at Bradley University, my alma mater, when I heard a commotion. I learned that someone had been posting racist flyers around campus. It was a student who wanted to start a white supremacy organization on campus. People were upset, outraged, and convened a student meeting about what was going to be done about it. I found myself listening in the back of the room. There was a lot of emotion, a lot of back and forth without any sort of progress. I found it, to be honest with you, frustrating. And I spoke up with suggestions on how we needed to organize. I shared that we needed to let the administration know that this wouldn't be tolerated. But more importantly, I said, we needed to make everyone understand that the greater campus community had somehow conveyed that Bradley was a safe place to espouse hate and bigotry. The environment which created was a real problem that we needed and that we could correct. Now, I was not seeking to lead that response, but you know what happens when you speak up. After a late night planning session, I found myself in front of the local media at 6 a.m., serving as spokesperson for the majority of the student body. Then we led a march to the administration offices to make our voices heard. We didn't have someone like President Bell. We launched a multicultural union. I became the target of death threats. These were very violent people. Eventually, the leader of that white supremacy group targeting Bradley was sentenced to a 40-year federal prison term for soliciting an undercover FBI agent to kill a federal judge. And one of his followers murdered 2 people in a shooting rampage targeting minorities in Chicago. In the end, we succeeded in making it known that our campus was no haven for hate and bigotry. That experience, my junior year in college, changed my life. I had been awoken to my purpose. I now knew that I wanted to be a servant leader. I wanted to lead and serve others. But honestly, as a junior in college, I had no idea how to do it. I pursued a law degree to give myself additional tools. As a side note, as you heard, I am now chairman of the Bradley Board of Trustees. And to not do too many quotes, but I do like this one from that lyrical genius Drake. I started from the bottom, now I'm here. In law school, I had a chance to further refine my purpose. While clerking for a prestigious law firm, I had opportunities to volunteer with children at the Boys and Girls Club. A conversation I had with an 8-year-old boy we were working with impacted me deeply. I asked him, as you do with young kids, what do you want to do when you grow up? The little boy said, I want to hang out. Thinking that he didn't understand the question, I asked him again, what do you want to do when you grow up? He said, I want to hang out. What I realized at that moment, what he saw in the men in his neighborhood, were the men hanging out on the corner. Those were the ones he thought were cool. So what he wanted to do when he grew up was to hang out. At that moment, I knew I could serve a purpose by exposing young people to new opportunities and different perspectives. I wanted to put myself in a position to help create employment opportunities, expand their horizons, and help create dreams. I wanted to be a role model for children who might never meet an African American business leader, let alone a CEO. I wanted to show that an alternative to the corner was the corner office. Dr. King said, life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you going to do for others? With Dr. King's voice echoing in my head, a new law degree, and an awakened spirit about serving others, creating opportunities and being a role model, I set out on my career. Now, in any new start, you always work long hours, grinding, but always searching. I was always searching for a way to give back. I was always trying to be true to myself and my purpose. As CEO, I am very intentional about my purpose and always remember where I came from. St. Louis, Missouri, a city not unlike Baltimore and a state that in a lot of ways is like Maryland. In 2015, I was working with my BGE team and groups from Baltimore on how we could celebrate and commemorate 200 years of existence, our 200th anniversary. We were approached about a festival called Light City. Light City was going to represent the best of Baltimore through art and entertainment. Now in April, if you take a step back, in April of 2015, the similarities of Baltimore and St. Louis was spotlighted all over the world. I don't have to remind you of them. The images and memories are ingrained in our minds. The emotions still resonate in our hearts. It's not something that you ever want to experience, and yet it's something we have grown all too familiar with. The death of young black men, specifically Michael Brown in Ferguson and Freddie Gray in Baltimore. It's not unique to Baltimore and St. Louis because pain, anguish, protest, violence, and racial tension was erupting nationwide in 2015. Now, I know the organizers behind Light City were questioning what to do. How do you proceed with the celebration of light in a city shrouded in darkness? All throughout the planning process, they had been meeting with community groups because this festival was always going to be inclusive of the neighborhoods. As it happened, the very next meeting, was scheduled just 2 weeks after Freddie Gray's funeral. The violence had ended, but tensions were still very high as people wondered what would come next. The meeting had been scheduled to take place at a community center located right across the street from New Shiloh Baptist Church, where Freddie Gray's funeral had been held. The questions were, would anyone come out? Would anyone be receptive to Light City? Was it too soon to be discussing light and art? Organizers decided to go ahead with the meeting, not knowing what might come out of it. But people did come out, about 50 of them, which is good for a community meeting and phenomenal at that time and place. They had just gone through so much upheaval, and they came out to say, we wanted Light City. I remember hearing a story I wanted to share with you from that meeting. It came from a resident from the neighborhood, a woman in her 50s who lives on a block of row homes where she is one of the last homeowners. The rest are rentals and some abandoned homes. Because of that, it would be easy to let that block slip as windows and doors are replaced with plywood. Windows that let in light being replaced with plywood darkness. Many a block in Baltimore have gone that way. The woman proceeded to tell her story. Despite not having a lot of money or time to spare, she makes it her mission each year to go to the dollar store to pick up twinkle lights and decorate the doors and windows of her home. She easily could throw up her hands in despair and let her block become part of the darkness. Instead, she makes the effort and takes the time to make a difference because, as she said, my neighborhood just needs more light. She's living her purpose. She's living with purpose. It's a small act, but there's immense power in that small act. I can tell you, when I heard that story, it gave us the power to act and commit. If one person was willing to make a difference with twinkle lights, then we needed to support her and the city. Graduates, you living your purpose allows others to live theirs. That is the true power of purpose. When you reflect on all the tests, presentations, and other assignments that led you to today, I want you to remember that perhaps more significant than those things were the community outreach programs you participated in. The late nights and early mornings when you took time to encourage someone, and those times when you prayed for a friend just to make it through. Those were the moments where you made a real difference in someone's life and made UMES greater as an institution. Those were the times when you showed, what do you call it, hospitality, and exemplified UMES's I Care core values of integrity, commitment, accountability, respect, and excellence. Thank you for allowing me to share in your special day and providing me a platform to possibly encourage, inspire, or cause someone to reflect. You have allowed me to begin in living out my purpose. Class of 2018, I encourage you to follow your dreams, and whichever way they take you, I sincerely hope they lead to our paths crossing again. God bless you.
Mr. Butler, thank you so much for that very inspiring talk and well wishes to our graduates. We appreciate it. Mr. McKinley Hayes, please come forward and stand at the right center of the podium to prepare to receive your medal. Mr. Hayes, you received your Bachelor of Science degree in Physical Education from the University of Maryland Eastern Shore in 1972. After graduating in 1972, you taught physical education for 13 years before moving into the role of high school guidance counselor. During that period of time, you earned your Master of Education degree in Guidance and Counseling from Bowie State University and pursued additional postgraduate work at the University of Maryland College Park, Trinity College, Catholic University of America, and Nova University. Your administrative leadership posts include serving as a summer school principal, as a testing coordinator, and as an assistant principal at the elementary and secondary school levels. Since the early 1990s, you have been the driving force behind an annual spring open house sponsored by UMES's Washington Metro Area Alumni Association in Prince George's County, that university leaders credit, and I can attest, with establishing a critical recruitment pipeline in the region. Prince George's County is consistently the home of more UMES students than any other Maryland subdivision or county. Any Prince George's County people in the class? In 2011, you began working at the Capital Guardian Youth Challenge Academy, initially as a case manager and later as his lead counselor, where you were regarded as a highly motivated individual with strong blend of counseling, organizational and administrative skills with proven human relations ability. For more than a quarter century, you have played an important role in introducing Washington, D.C. area high school students to the University of Maryland Eastern Shore. You have contributed countless hours of volunteer service to students who attend Washington area public schools, and you are widely known for organizing workshops for students who are accepted at UMES and hosting recruitment receptions that feature fellow alumni and civic leaders from across the state. Mr. McKinley Hayes, in recognition of your life's work and commitment to the betterment of our university and the Washington metropolitan and Eastern Shore communities, as president of the University of Maryland Eastern Shore, I am proud to present you with the Presidential Medal. Mrs. Ruth Polk, please come forward on behalf of your husband, Mr. James A. Polk Sr., and stand at the right of the podium to prepare to receive his medal. Mr. Polk graduated with honors from Virginia Union in Richmond, earning a master's in education from the University of Pennsylvania, and did advanced studies at Johns Hopkins University. He began his teaching career in 1946 at Berlin Junior High School before moving on to Worcester Junior Senior High School and then Salisbury High School. He joined the Maryland State College faculty in 1966. One of the references on his resume stated that he exemplified the finer characteristics of a teacher who is interested in doing an expert job of teaching and who has the interests of his students at heart. By 1974, he was head of the English department for 9 years before his retirement in 1973 after 17 years of dedicated service. The late Dr. William P. Heitch, former president of UMES, sent him a congratulatory letter on his stellar career. Dr. Heitch wrote, "We are proud of our accomplishments and even prouder of the individuals like you who, through great effort and sometimes sacrifice, help us to take the steps we have towards meeting our mission of providing the best possible educational experiences for the students of UMES. As a proud Maryland State faculty alumnus, he was recognized by his colleagues, friends, and former students as a fair and enlightened leader through times of racial and political tension, and who we are grateful for and appreciative of his wisdom and steadfast leadership. Mr. James Polk Sr., in recognition of his life work over a span of 103 years, he is 103 years old, and commitment to the betterment of our university and the Eastern Shore community. As president of the University of Maryland Eastern Shore, I am proud to present him with this presidential medal.
Dr. Thomas Siska, please come forward and stand at the right of the center podium to prepare to receive your degree. Madam President, the Board of Regents for the University System of Maryland has approved the confirmation of an honorary doctorate degree for Dr. Thomas Siska. Dr. Thomas Siska, you earned your undergraduate and doctoral degrees from Philadelphia College of Pharmacy and Science and served your clinical clerkship at the Hospital of the University of Pennsylvania and Jefferson University Hospital. In 1972, you accepted a clinical pharmacist position at the Memorial Hospital in Easton, Maryland, where you have been a fixture ever since. You have the distinction of being the Eastern Shore of Maryland's first clinical pharmacist, and you are among the state's first to hold the Doctor of Pharmacy degree. For 46 years, you have maintained an active clinical pharmacy practice at the University of Maryland Shore Medical Center at Easton. You are credited with developing a broad spectrum of clinical pharmacy services for Shore Health System hospitals in Easton and Cambridge that include a drug information service, a consult service, a drug protocol service, and physician rounds. Dr. Siska, you are among the charter group of professionals who joined the UMES faculty in 2010 when it launched the School of Pharmacy, where you developed and taught the cardiology model for the PharmD program. As a faculty member until 2015, you also acted as an on-site experiential learning supervisor for future pharmacists, fulfilling a prerequisite to work in a clinical setting. You are perhaps best known locally for developing pharmacist-managed drug therapy by protocols, a service that directly has managed an estimated 200,000 courses of drug therapy at the Shore Health System, where a clinical pharmacist oversees dosages and manage patients' drug therapy. Madam President, I present to you a leader in pharmacy practice and the healthcare industry to receive the University of Maryland Eastern Shore's Honorary Doctorate of Public Service degree.
Dr. Thomas Siska, by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Chancellor and the Board of Regents, for your life, your example, and your many achievements, I do hereby confer upon you the Honorary Doctorate of Public Service degree with all of the honors, rights, and privileges appertaining thereto.
Dr. Carolyn Brooks, please come forward to take your place at the podium. Dr. Carolyn Brooks, you received your Bachelor of Science and Master of Science degrees in biology from Tuskegee University and your Doctor of Philosophy degree in microbiology from The Ohio State University. You joined the University of Maryland Eastern Shore in 1981 and served for more than 3 decades as a professor, mentor, researcher, and administrator. During this time, you attracted over $4 million in external funding to support research and teaching. You co-authored over 40 scientific papers in refereed journals and abstracts for presentations at professional meetings. In 2007, you became Executive Director of the Association of 1890 Research Directors, an organization of administrators specializing in agriculture and food sciences at the nation's 19 historically black land-grant universities, including UMES, and continue to represent 1890 land-grant institutions on Capitol Hill. In 2013, you were inducted into the George Washington Carver Public Service Hall of Fame, and in 2016, you were inducted into the USDA National Institute of Food and Agriculture Hall of Fame. You have also been the recipient of several awards in research and service and served on numerous boards. In 2016, you retired after 35 years of dedicated service to the University of Maryland Eastern Shore. President Bell, upon the recommendation of the faculty, I present to you Dr. Carolyn Brooks for the designation of Professor Emerita.
Dr. Carolyn Brooks, in recognition of your many years of scholarly teaching, leadership, and dedicated service, and by virtue of the authority granted to me by the Board of Regents of the University System of Maryland, I hereby confer upon you the rank of Professor Emerita with all of the honors, rights, and privileges thereunto appertaining. In witness whereof, this certificate signed by the authorizing officers of the university and sealed with the corporate seal of the university is granted. At this time, the University of Maryland Eastern Shore Concert Choir, directed by Dr. Devonna Rowe, will perform You'll Never Walk Alone with Climb Every Mountain. Dr. Rowe. And now, this is the moment that you have been waiting for. The awarding of degrees to our deserving students, soon-to-be graduates. As the degrees are awarded, I will again ask, please, parents and friends, don't leave your seats. We have a professional photographer who will be down front capturing this moment, and it will be available for sale, for purchase. And so you will be notified. Please, graduates, as you cross the stage, remember this is a dignified ceremony and should be treated as such. And we would ask the audience to please keep the noise down so that everyone can hear their graduate's name as it is called as they walk across the stage. Thank you for your cooperation, and we will now continue with our program.
President Bell, it is my privilege to report that the candidates gathered here have qualified in all respects for degrees in their courses of study by successfully completing curricula offered by departments in the schools of the University of Maryland Eastern Shore. They have been recommended by the faculty and have been approved by the Chancellor and the Board of Regents to be awarded appropriate degrees in recognition of their academic accomplishments. At this time, we would like to recognize those students who will graduate with honors: cum laude, magna cum laude, and summa cum laude. Their names will be called during the regular presentation of degrees, but we would like to give them special recognition. All students graduating cum laude, GPA 3.3 to 3.499 in each school, please stand. Thank you. You may be seated. All students graduating magna cum laude, GPA 3.5 to 3.699 in each school, please stand. Thank you. You may be seated. All students graduating summa cum laude, GPA 3.70 to 4.0 in each school, please stand. Thank you. You may be seated.
Will the candidates for the Doctor of Philosophy and Doctor of Education degrees please rise? President Bell, I am pleased to present to you, on behalf of the graduate faculty, the candidates who have qualified in all respects for the Doctor of Philosophy and Doctor of Education degrees.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Chancellor and the Board of Regents, I do hereby confer upon you the Doctor of Philosophy and Doctor of Education degrees with all of the honors, privileges, and responsibilities appertaining thereto.
Will the identified advisors or graduate faculty members please come forward at this time to prepare to hood the candidates? Will the candidates for the Doctor of Philosophy and Doctor of Education degrees please come forward to be hooded as directed by the Marshal? Eric Evans. Deb Grung. Edward Bochi. Lynn Lang. Christopher Prosser. Tara Holden Needham. Linnell Satchel. Theodosia Edwards. Carrie Kephart. Richard Warren. Brian Zoppel. Will the candidates for the master's degrees please rise? President Bell, I'm pleased to present to you on behalf of the graduate faculty the candidates who have qualified in all respects for the Master of Education and Master of Science degrees.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Chancellor and the Board of Regents, I do hereby confer upon you the master's degree with all of the honors, privileges, and responsibilities appertaining thereto.
Will each candidate for the master's degrees please come forward to receive the diploma as directed by the Marshal? Adane Abera. Alexandra C. Mock Bohaska. Princess Botu. Suzanne Burton. Bria Cottingham. Adiabu Igowaju. Derek Faust. Medora Frazier. Suzette Gates. Jasmine Hewlett. Vontrice Hayes. Vanessa Hudson. Deja Johnson. Justin King. Patricia King. Alexandra Manilova. Bria Matthews. Lakita McNair. Ujala Noman. Derek Peck. Anrada Jiwantha Pochi Hawaje Don. Robert Berlini. Baron Rogers Jr. Keisha Shreves Whittington. Tony Sturgis. Elvin Sullivan. Kadeem Turnbull.
Will the candidates for the Doctor of Pharmacy degree please rise? President Bell, I am pleased to present to you on behalf of the School of Pharmacy faculty the candidates who have qualified in all respects for the Doctor of Pharmacy degree.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Chancellor and the Board of Regents, I do hereby confer upon you the Doctor of Pharmacy degree with all of the honors, privileges, and responsibilities appertaining thereto.
Will the candidates for the Doctor of Pharmacy degree please come forward to receive the diploma as directed by the Marshal?
Talani Lalade Adebanjo.
Albert Ayerner. Scott Ryan Baker. Michelle Brooke Benton, cum laude. Brittany Brooks Gray. Kareen Joan Franklin. Olufisayo Ayobami Oluwafemi. Shadow Spires. Mese Hagose Teklu, cum laude. Winfield Marco Whittington III.
Will the baccalaureate degree candidates from the School of Agricultural and Natural Sciences please rise? President Bell, I am pleased to present to you on behalf of the faculty of the School of Agricultural and Natural Sciences these approved and worthy candidates for the Bachelor of Science degree. Thank you. You may be seated. You may be seated.
Will the baccalaureate candidates from the School of Business and Technology please rise? President Bell, I am pleased to present to you, on behalf of the faculty of the School of Business and Technology, these approved and worthy candidates for the Bachelor of General Studies and the Bachelor of Science degrees. Thank you. You may be seated.
Will the baccalaureate degree candidates for the School of Education, Social Sciences, and the Arts please rise? President Bell, I am pleased to present to you on behalf of the faculty of the School of Education, Social Sciences, and the Arts these approved and worthy candidates for the Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of General Studies, and Bachelor of Science degrees. Thank you. You may be seated.
Will the baccalaureate degree candidates from the School of Pharmacy and Health Professions please rise? President Bell, I am pleased to present to you on behalf of the faculty of the School of Pharmacy and Health Professions these approved and worthy candidates for the Bachelor of Science degree. Thank you. You may be seated.
Will all candidates for the baccalaureate degree please rise? By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Chancellor and the Board of Regents, I do hereby confer upon you the Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of General Studies, and Bachelor of Science degree with all the honors, privileges, and responsibilities appertaining thereto. You may be seated.
Will the baccalaureate degree candidates from the School of Agricultural and Natural Sciences please rise and come forward to receive the diploma as directed by the Marshal.
Jasmine Ackwood. Brittany Arethea Bailey. Morgan Lee Barnes. Shakina Gianna Braxton, cum laude. Melanie Taylor Copey, summa cum laude. Ashley E. Davidson. Crystal Elise Davis, cum laude. Amani Davis. Shanice LeRae Dubrow. Vincent Russell Downing. Stephanie DeRuggi. Denise Edwards, cum laude. Tanika Urban. Linnell Urban. Kirsten Lee Fink, magna cum laude. Quintea Bernice Fortian. Felicia Goodman. Winton Eleazar Goodman. Kalila Q. Graham, cum laude. Sean P. Hayden, cum laude. Shellyanne S. Henry, magna cum laude. Dominique Hinton. Tyrone Aaron Holmes. Toby Guy Hoskins, magna cum laude. Trinae I. Hunter, cum laude. Ashley Jackson. Dominique A. Jones, cum laude. J. Reese John Jones. Mame A. Mensa, summa cum laude. Gabrielle Rihanna Mude, cum laude. Kayla Monique Mosegi. Skylar Lynn Murray. Kanika Zanuck Neal, magna cum laude. Bilikis A. Ikosu. Devin Antonio Alton, magna cum laude. Anaya Antoinette Pendergrast. Joshua Jermaine Pollard. Shayla Nakia Robinson, cum laude. Kiera B. Smith. Ayana A. Stevens. Simi Lolua A. Sule, cum laude. Taylor Diana Tittermary. Jameson Allen Trower. Vasavi Sruthi Veerapaneni, summa cum laude. Diamond Danielle Watson. Franklina Homa Yeboah, magna cum laude.
Will the baccalaureate degree candidates from the School of Business and Technology please rise and come forward to receive the diploma as directed by the marshal?
Rehab Rahamtala Abdulrahman, magna cum laude. Oki Godswill Obengo. Kemi Adakunbi. Kayode Bonmi Akinbode. Ifioluma K. Akinwumi. Hugo Jonathan Aldana, summa cum laude. Adelio Alexander Alfaro, cum laude. Daryl J. Almond. Javon Michael Ashley. Wenta A. Asefa. Vladimir J. Byres, summa cum laude. Melissa S. Baran. Nathan Max Barish. Maishar M. Bardney. Fatima Berry, cum laude. Naomi Dominique Batten, cum laude. Hannah Williams Beal, summa cum laude. Courtney Best, summa cum laude. Michaela Lenora Bronner. Elise Darlene Brown. Joel Marcus Brown. Mulageta G. Bertu. Devin T. Butler. Dante Carter. Brandon Austin Cartwright, cum laude. Taylor Caesar. Ting Feng Chan, cum laude. Cole Hunter Chesser, magna cum laude. Ashley Nikki Clairjo. Blair Simone Coleman. Amber Monet Dennis. Isaiah Stefan Diggs. Mervyn Disharoon. Morgan Francis Duffy, summa cum laude. Jack Joseph Ellis Jr., magna cum laude. James Matthew Ennis. Kyla K. Gainey. Jerry J. Germain, magna cum laude. Ronise T. Gibson. Coyette Philip Goodman. Brianna Faye Greenberg, summa cum laude. Morgan Nicole Hall. Joshua David Hansford, magna cum laude. Wagday H. Hassan, magna cum laude. Allegra D. Hicklin, cum laude. Anna Elizabeth Hines, cum laude. Jamae Alicia Holland, magna cum laude. London Sierra Hubbard. Daniel Jenkins. De'Ara Alexis Johnson. LeJag Johnson Goolsby. Aaliyah D. Jones. Joseph A.L. Journey. Eku Kaba. Sori Kanu. Raymond A. Mayo. Aziz Kevin Marshall Mbeye. Alexandra S. McIntyre. Stephanie Mae McMahon, summa cum laude. Christopher Ryan Melrath, magna cum laude. Brian Michelle. Siobhan Kalia Minor, cum laude. Azza Mohammed Salih, summa cum laude. Kazmira A. Nelson. Enianola Mojasola Okulate, magna cum laude. Matthew O. Olamoya. Elena Marie Polk. Kevin James Krog, magna cum laude. Ashanti Amara Price. Brendan Scott Reeder. Christian Ralph Rose. Stephen Mark Rovnan, summa. Wesley Leon Samuel. Darrell A. Scott. Wane Sewell. Anastasia Shimakela. Gina R. Simmons. Brandon Dion Swanson. Darius J. Taylor, summa cum laude. Michael Terefe. Grayson Kyle Trower. Jesse Valdez. Jasmine Marie Van Hook. Joseph Louis Villar. Success Villard. Amber Letitia Walker. Jordan Dominique Ward. Benjamin Price Webster, summa cum laude. Jermaine Levance Wells. Peter Robert Widmeyer, cum laude. Joshua Ryan Williams. Lauren Marie Wilson. Robel Elias Waldo. Bryce Young.
Will the baccalaureate degree candidates for the School of Education, Social Sciences, and the Arts please rise and come forward to receive your diploma as directed by the marshal.
Tariq Abdel Wakil, cum laude. Akindayo Akinje. Ebenezer D. Amankwa. Ryan Andino. Ashley Alexis O'Rourke Bear, cum laude. Lauren Bealded. Najee Benton. Evan Daniel Bertone. Ajay Shanice Bramble. Duman Troy-Sean Braxton. Devon Adam Bryant Jr. Shantisha Bryant. Tristan A. Bullion, cum laude. Dejan Kevin Burgess, cum laude. Markia Bird. Deja Nardia Callan. Isaiah D. Chambers, magna cum laude. Irene Deasia Clark. Shauna Denise Clarkson, magna cum laude. Michaela Raylyn Clifton, magna cum laude. Alicia Sean Holson. Naja India Cox, summa cum laude. Dejanay Benita Benzadel Day. Cassandra Renee Dilks. Kayla LaShawn Fagan, cum laude. Ryan Edward Forrester. Shakira Ariel Gilliard. Brianni Adora Green. Adrian Irene Guerra. Helen Sarah Hardy. Nicole Elise Harris. Alexis G. Hicks. Adasia Nikki Holiday. Taylor Vieira Jenkins. Mariah Glenisha Jones. Kyle Johnson. Salamatu Pargbo, cum laude. Glory Ruth N. Kang, summa cum laude. Jasmine Monique Hayes. Janae Kemp. Kirsten Koger. Laya A. Manigan, cum laude. Kayvon S. Martin. Naya Simone Mason. Logan Armani McIntosh. Jamal Antonio Miller, cum laude. Whitney Alexis Mins. Taylor Elizabeth Moltedo, summa cum laude. Albany B. Montgomery. Jonathan Philip Morris. Naja Medina Muhammad Ryan. Brandy A. Morel. Morgan Rachel Knock, summa cum laude. Janira Palmer, cum laude. Francine Lorene Hall. Antonio Cheyenne Perkins. Xavier Alexander Price. Christopher Robinson. Demond Carolyn Selby. Cheyenne Marie Shongo. Abu Silla. Imani Lee Simmons. Tabria Lachey Sledge. Dejanay Monique Smith. Latia Iman Smith. Tonia Lene Evelyn Starkey. Sean P. Sutton. Nathan Willie Tanner, magna cum laude. Jasmine Kimberly Taylor. Aisha Caprice Taylor, cum laude. Tanji L. Taylor, cum laude. Dre Tingle, magna cum laude. Bria Townsend. Sabrina Julianne Towson, summa cum laude. Dipna Akuchinyere Umunakwe. Charlotte Lynn Wagner, cum laude. Jordan Michaela Walker. Sierra Joelle Walters. Brandy Ward. Garrett McCullough Washington. Taylor Christina Watts. Kendrick J. Wells, cum laude. Katie Ann White, summa cum laude. Danielle Williams. Destiny Angel Williams. Kavia Dion Williams. Kyle Anthony Dean Williams. Tyler S. Williams. Jessica Marion Windsor, magna cum laude. Taya Nicale Winston, cum laude. Melissa C. Witherspoon, summa cum laude. Roland Young.
Will the baccalaureate degree candidates from the School of Pharmacy and Health Professions please rise and come forward to receive the diploma as directed by the marshal?
Brandy N. Barnes. Shantae M. Blake. Markia Victoria Brown. Kalisa Carmouche. Nikovia Ariel Carter. Samantha Taylor Caceres, cum laude. Brianna Nicole Charles. Caleb James Clark. Reagan Monet Davis Young, cum laude. Benjamin Allen Fisher, summa cum laude. Naji R. Fitzgerald. Tyler Freeze. Jalen Amber Dolores Hill, magna cum laude. Jalisa Amanda Johnson, summa cum laude. Trevor Johnson. Tiara M. Jones. Kafayat Lawal. Brandon L. Lewis, cum laude. Megan Renee Lewis. Reagan Michelle Manning. Brianna Simone McCallow. Simone Mitchell, magna cum laude. Jaleesa Moore. Michael R. Morgan. Natalie Oliver. Nanette Oluwatoyin Omalaja. Waketi Unema. Precious Miracle Pinkney. Damaris E. Ramirez Tolentino, cum laude. Relea Eliza Richardson, magna cum laude. Takara Sharnas Cisco, cum laude. Alicia Thomas Good. Darius Tyrone Timmons. Whitney Sierra Vass Needham. Alexis Wheeler. Abriona Jasmine White. Raikisha Whittington. Gary Devon Wright.
Will all the undergraduates please stand? You have reached an important milestone in your lives. Today marks the beginning rather than the end of your search for truth. As you venture out into the world, please remember to give back to your families, give back to your community, and yes, of course, give back to your alma mater, the University of Maryland, Eastern Shore. Now, graduates, you may turn your tassels from right to left. Congratulations, you may be seated. We will now have the Alumni Pledge administered by Mr. Garland Hayward, President of the Princess Anne Town Commissioners.
Will all the graduates please rise and repeat the Alumni Pledge after me? Say it loud and with commitment. I, state your name, an alumnus of the University of Maryland, Eastern Shore, do hereby pledge allegiance to the University of Maryland, Eastern Shore National Alumni Association. You're not saying it loud enough. And to the great and honored institution which it represents, I promise to remain loyal, faithful, and steadfast in my support of its programs, to uplift its principles, maintain its traditions, and defend its honor. I hear you. I further promise always to stand ready to contribute my time, efforts, financial assistance, and service toward the advancement of the welfare of the University of Maryland, Eastern Shore, my beloved alma mater. So help me God. Thank you. You may be seated.
Thank you, Mr. Hayward, for conducting the UMES Alumni Pledge. We're just about finished, so give me another 2 minutes. I also wish to thank the University of Maryland Eastern Shore Commencement Steering Committee and all of the supporting units for planning this event. Please join me again in thanking the musicians and vocalists from the University of Maryland Eastern Shore. We also have the Bay Brass Ensemble and Mrs. Devon, Dr. Devon Rowe, as well as Dr. Lumboskoza for the Flag of Nations and the flag bearers. We also thank the Wacomico High School Junior Reserve Officers Training Corps unit for the flags, Mr. Blackman and Mr. House, our sign language interpreters. We thank our ushers, Dr. Long and Dr. Smith, our readers as well. Before we go, I want to thank you and want to acknowledge our faculty and staff for the work that they do. Graduates, would you please acknowledge your faculty and staff and thank them for helping you. Now, graduates, would you please acknowledge your family and supporters and friends for helping you along the way. Thank you. Now, finally, as we close the ceremony, I ask our guests to please remain seated during the recessional. That would include the graduates who will also recess. We will now be led in the singing of the Alma Mater by the UMES Concert Choir. This will be followed by the benediction and the recessional. Thank you all and best of luck and congratulations to all of the graduates.
Let us prepare for the benediction. Lord, as we leave this place, we never leave your presence. We ask that you bless these graduates. God, encamp your angels about them. Open up doors for them that no man can shut. And we thank you for the great things that you have in store for them. Amen.
Thank you.